Hello everyone, Namaste and Salam Alaikum. Hi, this is Mariya Khan, your master teacher of biology here at Vedantu. Welcome to my session, people. And yes, kids, you always say, ma'am, that you're very filmy, and here I have actually come with a film review, you can say. So, Bacho, this movie, which was released on OTT platform Mimi. So, yeah, we are going to understand and learn biology and how correct is the movie related to the concepts of biology. We are going to bust all the facts around it, and I am super excited for today's session. Are you all equally excited? If yes, like, share, subscribe, and yes, post me a yo, guys. Post me a yo. So, yeah, hi Malvika, Mrudal Sai, Arpan, Kanak, Pushpanjali. Hello everyone. Yeah, बच्चों, like, share, subscribe and post me a yo. क्या बात है बच्चों, call up your friends and we all love some kind of entertainment. We do watch movies, but at times we find a lot of logic in those movies, and at times we find it absolutely illogical, absurd. So let's understand that in this particular movie, Mimi. So Mimi is a surrogate mother, है ना? She's portraying the role of a surrogate mother. So we are going to learn everything related to surrogacy, surrogate mother, the tests associated with it, the facts and the bills. Okay? Yeah. So chalo, without wasting any further time, let's get started. Hi Kanak, no, you're not at all rate, and Rudal Sai. Chalo, here we go. So, बच्चों, the movie Mimi and the character of Mimi is of course portrayed by none other than Kriti Sanon, right? So, chalo, let's first target the movie review, movie overview. Okay, chalo. So, bachcho, the movie starts with a foreigner, okay, foreign couple. So, there's John and his wife Sama. So, they basically want to have a baby, and unfortunately, they can't have one. Reason, Summer's uterus is a bit weak, and that's the reason why there are issues related to implantation. And even if the implantation occurs, it leads to miscarriages. And individuals, okay, basically women whose uterus is that weak that it cannot hold a child, it cannot hold a fetus, okay, such couples can actually opt out for surrogacy. So yeah, here is a couple, okay, foreign couple, and they come to India with an intent to search for a healthy woman who can lend her womb on rent to bear their child. Okay, so yes, they come to India, and they spot this beautiful little girl, and who's none other than Mimi, and the role is portrayed by, of course, Kriti Sanon. So when Bhanu approaches Mimi, ki okay, I have a lucrative offer for you now that you want to go to Bollywood and become an actor. Basically, you will need a lot of money, right? And you can get that money definitely, and you can get your portfolio done. But for that, I have like a proposal that why don't you be a surrogate mother? She asks, what's surrogacy? Basically, lending your uterus to bear someone else's child. So she was like, child, pregnancy, it means sexual reproduction. So, sexual reproduction in human beings, of course, the fertilization is internal. The egg is fertilized by a sperm inside the woman's body, female body, right? So, kids, this particular character Mimi was afraid that to bear someone else's child, is it essential to have sexual intercourse with someone? But bachcho, surrogacy is a modern reproductive technology, or what we call it as artificial reproductive technique, wherein a couple who is willing to have a child, okay, so the sperm sample is taken from the male partner, and the ova are collected from the female partner, okay. So biologically speaking, the gametes are of that couple, okay. So their gametes are taken, And then these gametes, the fusion of the egg with the sperm, happens in a petri dish or inside a test tube. So what we call it as IVF, in vitro fertilization. In layman's term, what we call it as test tube baby. So बच्चों, fertilization takes place inside a test tube. Okay, fertilization takes place inside a test tube, and hence the term test tube baby. Okay, so fertilization takes place inside the test tube, and of course it leads to the formation of zygote. Zygote divides and redivides to form an embryo. Now bachcho, what was the problem with Summer? Her uterus was so weak that implantation of the embryo cannot take place, and that's the reason why Kriti Senon comes into the picture. She lends her uterus to raise the embryo. Okay, so actually sperm from John and ova or egg sample from Summer was collected. It was fertilized inside a test tube and a zygote was formed. Of course, test tube baby was formed. It was allowed to divide and redivide so that it can transform into an embryo, and this embryo was implanted inside the uterus of Mimi. Okay, so the lady who lends her uterus on rent to bear someone else's child is referred as surrogate mother. Okay, and once she delivers the baby is handed over to the biological parents. Okay, so this is what we call it as the concept of surrogacy. Okay, so now for us, after seeing the movie, we find it as a very novel concept. Oh wow, this is also practically possible. But guys, let me tell you, this is what we call it as commercial surrogacy. Okay, now when we talk about commercial surrogacy means to become a surrogate mother for someone in exchange of money. Okay, so it is already a well established industry worth rupee 2.3 billion only in India alone. Okay, so it's not like it's newly introduced concept in our country. It's already booming in our country. Now if I tell you कि in this particular movie, this tiny little cute character Raj was born child to the surrogate mother Mimi, right? But just like Raj, almost 25,000 children are born to surrogates each year, only exclusively in our country. Forget about the rest of the world. Okay? And then when I say that India has become a hub for surrogacy, 50% of the clients are from the West. See, the fertility ratio of Indian women is too high. Okay, and then clients from the West come to India so that the success rate of surrogacy is like too good, too high, and they definitely come to our country and their intentions get fulfilled. They get blessed with a child, and that's the reason why they come to our country. Okay, so you'll be saying, ma'am, this is really good. If there's a childless couple and they really want to have a child and they come to our country and they get blessed with a baby, it's absolutely amazing. है ना? मतलब becoming parents is the best blessing of life. Of course it is. But then there is other aspect also to it. Let's try to unfold it. Okay? First of all, why India is preferred? Why not any other country? Why only India? So in major countries across the globe, surrogacy is prohibited. And when I say surrogacy, commercial surrogacy is prohibited. See, motherhood is a blessing and one should enjoy the joy of becoming a mother. It should not be like commercialization of motherhood. Producing a baby is not like a commodity. Women's body is really sacred. It's not like a factory where babies are being manufactured, right? But yes, in major parts of the world, okay, in most of the countries, women considered as a factory and baby as a commodity is not digested, and that's the reason why it's actually legally banned. And then, ma'am, what about India? What about India? We do have a bill, but that is not yet passed. So there is a lack of regulatory laws in our country. Suppose in any other country where a woman becomes a commercial surrogate mother to a child, if surrogacy is banned in that country, will the baby be offered citizenship of that country? So again, there are so many complications related to becoming a surrogate mother and then the citizenship of the child and following so many other complications. But here in India, there are no such complications. Why? Because the law is still missing. Guys, 2021, and still there are no laws. There are no laws. Okay? That's point number one. Second, cheap medical facilities. If we talk about US and UK as compared to those countries, here it is just one third cost. Invest only one third of the amount and get your baby. Absolutely a healthy baby. So cheap medical facilities are available in our country. Okay. Advanced reproductive technologies. So bachcho, whether it is IVF or testing with the help of sonographies or diagnosis of some congenital diseases with the help of amniocentesis or any other advanced technique, that's practically possible in our country. Okay, the medical technology is really advanced, and yes, that's the reason why again India is preferred. But let me tell you the major reason: easy availability of surrogate mothers. Guys, we know that India is a developing country. Major parts of our country are having people who are really poor, really poor. And to earn a living, they are really ready to go to any extent. And surrogacy is a very easy alternative to them. Okay? Ki bear a child, deliver the child in 9 months, and then earn money as good as 3 to 4 lakhs per year per child. That's like a very lucrative offer to an individual who are barely earning money to win their bread, right? But then surrogate mothers are easily available in our country, especially in states like Gujarat. I would like to cite you an example. Like there's a small town named Anand, and there are so many women out there who have become surrogate mothers, not for one, not for two, not for three, but 10 to 12 babies. This is really insane, unimaginable. Means those ladies have been transformed into a child manufacturing industries by their family members or by their own will and wish. And there is something called as the reproductive health of a woman. There is something called as the physical fitness of a woman, and that is completely at stake when surrogacy is not regulated by any law. The health of the current generation, the youth, is totally at stake. And hence, surrogacy is something that we need to have a different perspective altogether. है ना? तो बच्चों, I told you the deal is really lucrative because the mothers or surrogates are being offered 3 to 4 lakhs to bear a child. Now, suppose if a lady who is unable to have even a one-time meal, to afford a one-time meal, and she has to raise an entire family, she could consider this offer, right? But chalo, grass is always greener on the other side, and let me tell you the other side of the story. If I say that the deal is fixed for 4 lakhs, okay, the contract is fixed for 4 lakhs, this 4 lakhs never directly reach to the surrogate mother, because many a times the surrogate mothers are ladies who offer domestic help. The maids who work at our homes, they usually are chosen as a surrogate mother. They are illiterates. They don't know what are the terms and conditions mentioned in those contracts. And the mediators, okay, mediators eat up a huge chunk of money. The medicos who are involved in this, maybe doctors or RMOs or any other person, okay, who is giving a medical assistance, even they eat up a huge chunk of money. And barely the surrogate mother who bears the pain for 9 months, who raises the child with utmost care, okay, she is left only with 75,000. And in this 75,000, or maybe something lesser than this, they have to manage their medication, they have to manage their test, they have to manage their meals, they have to manage nutritious food, everything. Now you tell me, technically, is the mother who is actually being surrogate to someone else, is she getting any kind of benefit? No. In reality, it's technically a loss, a huge loss, long term loss, which cannot be like recovered ever, ever. है ना? तो बच्चों, that's the reason why we must have laws surrounding surrogacy. Cholo, let me tell you, in our country, surrogacy has become like a fancy trend. Okay, I am the biggest fan of Shah Rukh Khan. But guys, tell me, Shah Rukh Khan is literally blessed with everything. He has a very charming son, Aryan, very beautiful princess daughter, Suhana, complete family. Yet he opted for surrogacy and then he was blessed with Abram, right? Chalo. Aren't we contributing to the world population just because we can afford to pay a surrogate mother? Is it logical to opt surrogacy? That's point number one. Chalo, point number two. Same thing was followed by Amir Khan. है ना? He was already having kids, okay, from his first wife. Still, he chose surrogacy and he has his second child, okay. And now, though they have parted their ways, now a big question mark about the child. Chalo, let's not even talk about the future of the child. Chalo, let's take the third example, okay. Third example of Karan Johar, Tushar Kapoor, even they opted for surrogacy. Karan Johar is now blessed with twins and Tushar Kapoor is also having a son. But every individual, every child has the right to have both sets of parents, mother and father. है ना? We all are so close to our moms. Like if someone asked me, ki, whom do you love the most in your life? I'll say my mama, then my papa, third my son. Either we love the most our parents or our child, right? So bachcho, when their kids grow up and they ask, ki, where's my mom? Aren't they deprived of the most divine love on this planet Earth? That is a mother's love, unconditional mother's love. Every child must have the right to have the love showered by both the parents, mama and papa. है ना? So that is again one thing. And then everyone almost in Bollywood 2 or 3 years previously was opting for surrogacy, and this became like a trend. Hey, I am having this car, you also have this car. Like I opted for surrogacy, even you do opt for surrogacy. And all these Bollywood celebrities, they are not just celebrities, but they are influencers, and they influence the masses. And when it comes to India, Bollywood stars, they are massive influencers. They have the potential to create a makeshift in the psychology of Indian society, right? So bachcho, we definitely need a law here. Currently, we only have a bill which is every time amended because it's not considered to be ideal, and every time the changes are being done. So the first bill on surrogacy was actually drafted in 2016, and then it was every time modified, amended, and it is not yet passed. It is not yet passed, okay. So bill is not yet transformed into a law. So let's talk about it. What this bill says. First, commercial surrogacy, that is surrogacy in exchange of money, must be banned. Okay, it must be banned. So बच्चों, that's the proposal that is not yet accepted. Okay, because it's not yet converted into a law. Second, any random woman can't become a surrogate mother. Now you tell me the character Mimi, was she married or unmarried? Married or unmarried? Tell me guys, married or unmarried? In this particular movie, was she married or unmarried? She was unmarried, right? Now the bill says an unmarried woman cannot become a surrogate mother. Okay. In order to be a surrogate mother, the woman must be married. Acha, chalo. Now, let's assume that she was married. Now, will she be allowed to be a surrogate mother? Conditions apply. What are the conditions? She must have her own living biological child so that she is not at all tempted to run away with the child whom she will deliver. Okay. Remember, she is renting her uterus to raise someone else's baby. So she should not be tempted ki, oh, I have been married since so long, but I am not blessed with a baby. I can't have my own biological child. Now let me raise someone else's child, and when I deliver the baby, I'll run away with the baby. No. This is crime. And that's the reason why the woman who decides to be a surrogate mother, she must be married, condition number 1. Condition number 2, she should have her own biological living child. Third, the child should be absolutely normal. It should not be that the child is having any kind of physical deformities or mental deformities, and that's the reason why she is again tempted to run away with the baby. Okay? So, her baby should be normal. Normal and living. Okay? Chalo. Then, the third condition or the third pointer in this particular bill. Couple like Shah Rukh Khan and Gauri Khan, they can't opt for surrogacy. Couples who are already having their own biological kids, they can't opt for surrogacy. Very good. Much required. Right? Then, fourth one, single parents, they can't opt for surrogacy. Like Karan Johar and Tushar Kapoor, they can't, like such individuals can't opt for surrogacy. Why? Because every child has got the birthright to enjoy the love from both the parents. Okay. Then the next, ki homosexuals or couples who are living in a live-in relationship, they can't offer or offer surrogacy. Why? Because when they separate, what is the future of the child? We can't put the future of the child at stake when the couple themselves, they are not so sure whether they are going to stay together in future or not. Okay. But then, why this bill is not yet passed? Because whether the couple is a normal heterosexual couple, okay, or a homosexual couple of gays or lesbians, every individual has got the right to become parents, to experience the love of parenthood, and just because a person's sexual orientation is different than the usual ones, cannot take away their right of enjoying the parenthood. This is also like denial of the birthright, है ना? And that's the reason why this particular bill is not yet passed. There were certain amendments which were expected, but in the wake of this COVID-19 crisis, these changes couldn't take place, and that's the reason why the bill has not yet transformed into a law. Okay, chalo, that's one thing. Now, altruistic surrogacy. Now, what is altruistic surrogacy? Let's assume that I have a sister, okay, and she cannot bear a child because of a weak uterus. Now, in that case, I love my sister, I have my own biological child. I'm already married and I have special emotional bonding with my sister. So I'll say, sister, no worry. Your sister is there. I will raise your baby in my womb for 9 months and I'll safely give it back to you without any monetary compensation. I won't charge a single penny to my sis. So when such kind of help is offered to lend a uterus, not on rent, but for an emotional connect, that is what we call it as altruistic surrogacy. So altruistic surrogacy is considered to be humane, okay, and that is an exception under this particular bill. Okay. So now there are few more flaws related to this movie. Now, bacho, flaw number 1. Okay. As Kriti Sanon becomes surrogate mother, few months after getting pregnant, she undergoes certain medical tests where the doctor suspects that her baby might have certain defects like or Down syndrome. The doctor says that the child may have Down syndrome. Now, bachcho, Down syndrome is a genetic disorder where the 21st pair of chromosome is not having 2 chromosomes, but it is having 3 chromosomes. So this disorder is called as trisomy 21. Okay. So, bachcho, the movie says that the baby can have this Down syndrome and the doctor recommends to abort the child. Okay. And then when the baby is delivered, when Raj is born, as you can see over here, the Raj is absolutely a normal child, right? Raj is not having Down syndrome. So, bachcho, what are the tests which are performed in our country or general tests which will determine whether the child is having any kind of genetic disorders or not? So, the very first one is blood test, which detects the level of proteins, certain protein markers in the blood. If the levels are too high or too low, that is an indication that the child might have certain birth defects. If the levels are too high or too low, then the doctor will check out for sonography, ultrasound. Okay. So this ultrasound technique determines additional layer of skin at the backside of the head. Okay. So this is an indication that again the child might have Down syndrome. Again, the heartbeats are tested to check whether there are any kind of heart defects like congenital heart disorders, okay, hole in the heart or something like that. Again, this gives you an indication there might be a problem, but doctor will never recommend to abort a child just by having an assumption कि might be the child would be having Down syndrome. Uncertainty पे no doctor can ever recommend to abort a child. Okay. So how is it confirmed? So it is confirmed by advanced techniques like amniocentesis or other tests where the chromosomes of a child are actually determined. Okay, let me tell you my case. You all have seen my son Azan, right? So when I was expecting Azan, my hormonal level, blood test, okay, it detected slightly elevated protein levels. And then doctor said, your child might have some birth defects. So I underwent this particular test, amniocentesis. 6 years back, this test costed me somewhere around 25 to 27,000. I don't remember. Now the price would be a bit more on the higher side. Okay. So I got an entire chart of chromosomes, what we call it as karyotype. Okay. And when the doctors are giving us an entire chart, karyotype of an individual, it can never go wrong. I was 5 months pregnant and doctor said me, after looking at this report, I can assure you, your baby is 100% normal. You can go ahead and continue with this pregnancy. You will be definitely be blessed with a normal baby. So the entire base of this movie is baseless. The movie says that the baby might have Down syndrome. So you abort the child. No doctor can ever recommend to abort a baby. And that's the reason why. One, Kriti Sanon, unmarried surrogate, baseless. Point number two, baby might have Down syndrome. That is again baseless. And that's the reason why, bachu. That's the reason why sonography and amniocentesis, these are the determining factors. And moreover, surrogacy needs to be taken seriously in our country. So let's keep our fingers crossed and wait for the golden day when this bill gets transformed into a law, and it is just for everyone, not just for the heterosexual couples, but also for individuals from the LGBTQI community, right? And guys, I hope you found this session to be informative, and even the sessions conducted on the Vedantu's platform, they are very informative. So if you wish to join Vedantu, we have our VPro subscriptions. So the fees is pretty nominal, and if you apply my coupon code, that is MACPRO, you get a 10% additional discount. How do you access it? The link has been posted in the description box. Also, it is pinned in the comment section. Click on the link and grab your deal now. Okay, and that's it, bacho. I hope you found this session to be really informative and useful. If you really loved the session, hit on the like button, share, subscribe, and don't forget to post me a you in the chats. For detailed information or any discussion or recommendation, you can reach out to me either through the comment section or on my mail ID, that is mariya.khan@vedantu.com. And bacho, I hope you loved this review on the movie Mimi. I was even planning to create a movie review of Vicky Donor. So if you find it interesting, or if you have any other movie to recommend me, do let me know in the comment section, and we'll keep on providing you such informative sessions in my upcoming days also. Let's meet up in few more sessions. Till then, Allah Hafiz, Milo Wapis, and keep watching Vedantu. Bye-bye. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching the session. Bye-bye.